Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. MC-Mura here, and in today's video I'm going to give you 5 moves that you can punish. I'm gonna start with Cody and his V-Trigger 2 swing. V-Trigger 2 swing of course has a lot of utility, and one of the biggest uses of V-Trigger 2 swing is making moves that are usually unsafe safe. So he can do this target combo. If you try to interrupt here, you can trade, which is obviously a really bad trade. If you block it, the swing itself is -2, so he's completely safe. And this can also be used for something like sweep. For example, a lot of Cody players will sweep and then cancel into the swing. It's very common, I'm sure you all have seen it. But as you saw, the swing itself is safe and we cannot interrupt with 3 frames. So what are our options? There are multiple things you can do here. Someone like Akuma can straight up heavy punch DP, and this will beat the string every single time. Even if Cody doesn't do the swing itself, it will punish the target combo on block. One other thing that you can do is armor. So if your character have armor, like say someone like Mika, Alex, that style of character, you can absolutely armor through this. And there are other individual options as well. For example, if your character have a parry or something, someone like Akuma, he can actually parry this and get a full combo conversion. This applies to the target combo into the swing and also to the sweep into the swing. It's the same deal exactly. So if Cody ever does this against you, make sure that you are punishing it, because like you're seeing, you can actually get a very big meaningful punish here. And now for our second attack of the day, I am going to talk about G and his V-Skill 1 in V-Trigger. And this have interesting properties and something I feel like people don't know that well. It have multiple hits of projectile durability. So for example, if I throw my EX Fireball, his V-Skill will go straight through it because it hits 5 times, right? But this actually hits once. So someone like Laura, you can actually EX armor through that. It's not very common knowledge that it actually have only one hit. It's kind of weird because it hits as a projectile, it will have like 5 hits of durability. It's kind of like Cody's EX Fireball, which has 3 hits of durability, but it actually hits twice only. But this actually only hit once. So if your character have armor, you can absolutely armor through this. Many characters like Laura, Honda, Alex, many characters have armor moves like that. So if G ever does this in the neutral against you, you can absolutely on reaction armor through and punish him for it. And now for our third attack today, I am going to talk about Urien and his V-Trigger 2. And V-Trigger 2 is not very commonly used by Urien players, but it is used a fair bit. You will run into it, so it is important to know how to deal with it. And one of the prime things that you are gonna see from Urien players is something like this, and this of course is safe on block. If you ever block the charge attack, this is absolutely safe. It's -2, so it is a little bit annoying. But the thing about this charge and his V-Trigger in general is that you can interrupt it on startup. So for this particular string, if you do something fast, like say jab into Tatsu or jab into uppercut, you can actually interrupt it on startup. If he let it go, he will lose the armor. Urien have armor while he's charging, but as he is dashing forward, he doesn't. Which is important to know, especially as a start. If he decided to charge it a little bit, so for example, if Urien did the same string, but he is charging it like that, yeah, he can get to you. He can hit you. So what you have to do is, you have to do a jab or like a light, and then cancel it into something really quick. So for example, if I'm using someone like Ryu, I should do something like this. I should do a jab into a heavy uppercut, for example. And this should always beat his stuff. So when Urien is trying to cheese you with this, make sure that you are interrupting with jab and then cancelling into a special move as quickly as possible, so that you will be able to punish him for this every single time. And now for our fourth attack today, I wanted to talk about Poison and her Love Me Tender. It is the flip kick special, that one. And most people know that this is -4, right? So many people actually expect to punish it. But the thing about this is that it have multiple versions and some of them are actually safe, especially the heavy kick one. And if you can't even tell by the delay in it, it have a specific voice line. So if you notice carefully, this is a light. Let's go is a light. This is unsafe, of course. If she does the medium, she says kick some ass, and this is also -4, and so you can punish it. The heavy version is the safe one though, and the voice line is on your knees. This is completely safe. This is only -2, so this is completely safe. So if you have issues recognizing them visually, because they do actually, the heavy one have a little bit of delay to it, so if you can't recognize them visually, just remember that the on your knees one, this is safe on block. On your knees is safe. So then maybe you will get like a command grab, or you get like a 50-50 punish at this situation. So overall, make sure that you are punishing this as -4, and if she's saying on your knees, if you can't tell it by visually, that is a voice line where she will be safe on block. And now for the final attack of the day, I wanted to talk about Balrog and his V-trigger activation. One of the most powerful things about Balrog is how he gets to activate his V-trigger 1. Especially, or V-trigger 2, honestly, they both have the same activation. So this kinda is universal to Balrog activating V-trigger overall. Balrog can do his KKB, it is his V-skill 1, and hits you either with the straight hit or the overhead and activate his V-trigger. So if Balrog does this, as you can see, he will be plus, but there is a little bit of separation here. He's plus, yeah, but you are outside of a throw mix-up, right? If Balrog does the same sequence but activate from the overhead, he's a lot closer. Here Balrog can just micro walk and grab you. So the overhead option, I mean, of course it is an overhead to begin with, so there is a little bit of a mix there, but he's also a lot closer on block. So how can we deal with this, or how can we prevent this? Because this is actually a really good activation. It's easy. If he does the straight activation, so for example, if he does this, this is a true block string. I will turn on my input so you can see it. If he does the activation into V-skill 1, this is a straight up block string. You cannot do anything, but because there is a decent separation here, it is not that bad to take it, because there is no throw mix-up, right? It's whatever. The overhead is a lot dangerous though, because again, he is a lot closer. So first of all, you have to block the overhead, and then you have to guess if he's gonna throw you or whatever. But this is interruptible, so if he goes for this, you can absolutely interrupt him. I failed this time. But yeah, you can get the interruption here. So you can actually mash here. If he happens to cancel into the punch version, your punch is not gonna come out. So even if I do the same thing and I'm mashing here, my punch is not coming out anyways. And if he does the cancel into the overhead, I'm actually gonna be able to interrupt him and get a punish on Balrog. This is very common. A lot of Balrog players will try to activate with this particular string because it's actually really good. And that is it for today's video. If you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like or a comment. It helps the channel a ton. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. Stay tuned for more. Thank you very much for watching and stay safe.